If you even look at the Reformation movement and what those people did to have religious liberty because they refused to accept the injustice that was done to them by the Catholic Church, a lot of us Christians, if we actually studied that a bit more, we would actually take a deeper look at our Christianity and think, rah, I need to do a lot more. Why do some Christians think it's okay to be silent when they see injustice? God don't like injustice. Hi guys, it's me Ray from raytalks.co.uk and welcome to another video of mine. So in this video, it's going to be a bit different to what I usually do. Well, a bit of combination of two things I love to do, which is hair related stuff and talking. So I'm starting this series. I think I want to call it Detangle and Discuss. And based on the title, you know what we're going to be talking about today. And today, deep breath, we're going to be talking about Christianity and social justice. So if you're interested, make sure you stay tuned. I've sectioned my hair off into 4 sections already. These hair clips, you can get them from thenaturalhairtoolkit.com. I will link also down below other places where you can get these hairdressing clips. I quite like them because they just make it it allows me to just part my hair quite nicely away when I am styling. The tools I'm going to be using today are a trusty wide tooth comb. I may use my detangling brush. If you haven't used this detangling brush, then you need to get on it. Check the eye for a video of where I review this brush. Absolutely love it. My trusty spray bottle. Love it, the Flairosol. Link down below. And today I'm going to be doing another detangling session with conditioner. You might have seen in another video I detangled my hair with Lidl conditioner, and I used a tea tree Lidl's CN tea tree conditioner, sorry. Today I'm going to be using the raspberry version of that. It smells like raspberry, like real raspberry with natural raspberry extract. Okay, I don't think I like this type of conditioner on my hair. I didn't like the aftermath of how it made my hair feel, if I'm remembering correctly. I used it on my sister's hair, Rhoda, you know Rhoda, and yeah, she didn't like it on her hair as well. So first off, I'm gonna take one section and just divide it into 2 and put this up. I'm gonna miss this section. I probably need to get a towel or something. So let's talk about Christianity and social justice. So if you don't know already what's happening in the world, I don't know when I'm going to upload this video. Today is the 3rd of June and we have seen some horrific events happen in the world. A young man was literally sat on and died on the spot. You know, they can say he was pronounced dead at the hospital, but if you watch that video, which I do not recommend that you watch the video, to be honest, you will know that he died on the spot. That's what I saw when I watched that video. In the Bible, there's so many things within the Bible, and you will notice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply some conditioner to my hand like that, very thick. This is very raspberry, and apply it to the bottom of my hair and working my way up, and then just smoothing my hair down and applying extra conditioner as I see fit. I'm doing the praying hand method, and this is what I'm going to be doing throughout this session, throughout this detangling session. Misting my hair with water, applying conditioner, shingling it, praying hands, and then get a detangling tool, whether that be the wide tooth comb or the brush. God is not quiet. Christ was not quiet when it came to injustice. The children of Israel, if you are familiar with them in the Bible, they were for many years in bondage. They were oppressed by the Egyptians, and then God raised up somebody, as he does in his true fashion, that was essentially the leader who led the children of Israel, God give me the right words to say, out of Egypt, and then they were liberated. I'm very much sugarcoating the story, or just that was a whistle-stop summary of the children of Israel being in bondage and being liberated. We also learn of a story in the Bible, an account of David and Goliath. The children of Israel, again, were oppressed, this time by the Philistines, and there was this giant called Goliath who used to torment the children of Israel and would boast about how he killed them. I've just basically detangled my hair, if you just saw that. He would boast on how he would kill them or plan to kill them. I'm going to use the comb. And he would kill them, from what I know. And one day, so he was basically the oppressor. The Philistines were the oppressors of the children of Israel. And one day, David came on the scene and was like, we're not having this anymore. And by the mighty power of God, he was able to stand up. I'm going to divide this into two. He was able to stand up against the Philistine giant, Goliath, and took a rock and threw it on him. And he died. And then the children of Israel had victory. The learning from here is that the oppressor will always fall. It is just how life is. When you oppress people, when you take them for, take advantage of them, just know that there is a day coming where you will no longer be able to do such monstrosities. God will not be silent forever. It may appear that Christ is not saying anything, but all these things that are happening in the world when it comes to injustice, God is noting it down, and in his way, he is dealing with it. So that makes me come on to my next point of why do some Christians think it's okay to be silent when they see injustice? If anything, being silent when you see injustice or not doing anything, you are probably just as bad, if not equivalent to the oppressor, especially if you have a means to do so. If you are in a position where you can help the poor, the needy, the oppressed, and you choose not to do so, God help us, honestly. Now, talking about, I'm going to illustrate an example from the Bible about how God hates injustice. So you remember the story of Sodom and Gomorrah? People often, refer to that story when they're talking about homosexuality. But in the book of, I think it's Ezekiel, I'll leave the verses on the screen, it makes reference to the children of Sodom. And one of their sins was not just the fact that they committed sodomy, it was also how they treated the poor and the needy, and how they were full of bread. Full of bread meaning that they were idle. God doesn't make light of that again. They didn't stretch out their hands to the poor and needy, and a plethora of sins that they do. And as a result, God what? Destroyed them. He destroyed them. Because God don't like injustice. That's it. If we, being Christians, are familiar with these stories and we stand silent in the midst of injustice, can we really call ourselves God's children? I completely empathize with the fact that all of us may not be able to go to a protest. I haven't protested. I used to protest like back in the day, like 5 years ago. But we have social media platforms, and it might be called a form of, what did I learn ages ago? Slacktivism, but in terms of is a Slack or an easier way of activism. But you're still sharing your thoughts, you're still raising awareness via social media, whether it be you're talking about a situation, whether you're retweeting something, whether you're sharing an article, whether you are encouraging people to sign a petition. There's so many ways in which you can do to fight injustice without having to leave your house. So we that believe in God, we believe in prayer, and prayer is also a great way to fight injustice. Call your local churches, call your friends to pray about the situation. And then as we pray, let's not just be praying, but be people of action. So could you support the cause financially? Could you write a letter to your local MP, an email? There's so many things that as Christians we need to do. If you even look at the Reformation movement and what those people did to have religious liberty because they refused to accept the injustice that was done to them by the Catholic Church, a lot of us Christians, if we actually studied that a bit more, we would actually take a deeper look at our Christianity and think, I need to do a lot more. What I'm saying here is not just for you, the viewers, or those who may, it's not just for you watching, essentially. Like, this stuff I'm saying is just it's very much for myself as well as for my fellow, Christians when it comes to the matter of injustice. Not all of us may have the confidence or want to go and hold a placard or even have the time, on the street to illustrate our frustration. But like I listed, there's a range of different things that we can do. One being prayer, one being about funding causes, encouraging people to sign a petition, writing letters, this is in the UK, to your local MPs, to local government, approaching Parliament. Like, if you look at what the reformers did, the likes of Martin Luther, Huss, Jerome, and there's some others, and I'll probably put their names on the screen, what they did to fight injustice, and we look at ourselves today, is shocking.